So hi guys, hitting your irons a little bit more effectively, better contact and better compression. I'm going to talk about a move here on the way down, something that you can feel and bring into your game. Never forgetting that the dominating thought needs to be the golf ball when we're playing golf. We're not be thinking about 6 different things. Important to get in there and remember that when you're working on things in your swing. It can become habit forming. Now what we're going to be looking here is to create a little bit more shaft lean through a move, get this right hip to get down in a bit of a lower position. And we're going to be looking at moving, sinking slightly down in your downswing, just ever so slightly. When we're looking at the PGA Tour average, we're looking at biomechanics, we're moving between 2 to 4 inches in that area and just sinking slightly down. We're seeing the top players in the world doing it, and when they're doing it, it's easier for them to hang on to their angles. When we're really staying very level or up very tall, it's easy to throw the angles away, coming back with not a whole lot of shaft lean. Well, we know we need to really get around 10, 12 degrees, even more shaft lean there at impact to press the ball out, flight it well, stop touching the ground before we touch the ball, hitting fat shots and thin shots and getting ourselves in a bit of trouble. Now this is a feel, and what you can do is when you get to the top of your swing, when you pivot correctly and get everything to collect, guys, don't forget to subscribe. I always do that. Hit that button, hit the bell, and hit the bell, then you'll get all the videos coming your way. And plenty more of these videos on World Class Golf Instruction, where we have over 50 separate series, 900 videos on the platform. So guys, when you're getting up to the top of your swing, what we're looking at doing is just getting a little bit of a lowering, a little bit of a sink. Okay, so we're getting a little bit of a pressure down into your feet. It's not much, and you're keeping the ball in mind. All right, you're keeping the ball in mind. Well, what will happen is we create some good separation from the top half to the bottom half. When the knees are slightly flexed, we're pushing down a little bit into the ground. We can just help us to grip the ground better. But when the left leg is just ever so slightly bent here, we're going to be having a touch of lateral movement. When it straightens, it'll tend to spin. Okay, so we want to get, sometimes we have a combination of lateral and opening, but we still know that the tour average here is 4 to 6 inches of lateral movement with the lead hip. This has been tested through some of the world's best leading biomechanics golf specialists, so we know that that's a fact. So we need to get ourselves to understand, we need to get, when we're looking at the top players and moving their heads down slightly and moving slightly forwards because they make more money, right? They play better golf. And when you're looking at evidence-based material, you're not in those positions and you're perhaps not hitting the ball as well as you would like. This is what we show you on World Class Golf Instruction. It's good to get in there and have a look and say, okay, I'm going to work on some of these things and get my swing closer to these optimal positions. The closer you get, the better you're going to hit. Now what we're going to be looking at here is when you get to the top of the swing, it's just a slight sink. Okay, and then moving through the ball, you'll feel perhaps a little bit of a turning with the head, a slight sinking with the knee, but when you're getting up into your finish position, to get a little bit of extension here and just get a little bit of a curve in the small of your back, and this will help you get everything to move in the correct fashion through the ball and up into impact. It has a flattening characteristic by getting into a finish position. When we're seeing people move down, we're seeing them often finish a little bit too far forwards here, and that's steepening the club and causing other issues down and around an impact. So it's just a slight sinking feeling. It's down, and then we're stretching things back up and into the finish position. So let's just see. I'll just hit one here. Perhaps you can see my head just sink down ever so slightly through the ball. And then up into the finish, you can see here, there's an arch in the back, and the chest is up and into this finish position, just holding it, squeezing your knees together. And it's a great way to get separation, get some speed, get some angle, hold your angles and get that shaft lean. And it also gives the look, that the swing, a pleasant, pleasing look and moving in the right direction. Guys, let's now have a closer look at some evidence-based material of some of the great iron players in world golf. World Class Golf Instruction has over 700 detailed videos for every golfer. Practice programs and evidence-based material is applied to helping you to become your own coach and play your best golf. Join us in the chat room and join the community of World Class Golf Instruction. So hi everyone, time to look at some evidence-based material as we're looking at some of the best iron players of all time. And I've just taken the liberty to pop in some of my normal lines from up on the left side of the ankle, the line right up here, that's what I call the wall. And now we're going to be looking at the head movement from the top of the swing. We've got Garcia, one of the best iron players, one of the best ball strikers in the world, and arguably one of the best iron players of all time. He's looking at the last 20 years. And the two best iron players statistically, Tiger Woods and Garcia. Mcilroy not far behind on the left side here. Wonderful golf swings. Now, when we're looking at these players move, we're going to be seeing a little bit of a subtle movement down. You see Garcia moving downwards here in the downswing. Now, what this does is it helps you can hang on to your angles better. You're standing up taller, or you're staying tall, perhaps is the best way to say it. You can throw the club away easier. When we're moving downwards, we're almost forced to hold on to angle. Otherwise, if we throw the club away, we'll hit it fat. Right? So by moving further down, what can happen, or what does happen, is it makes it much easier to hit it with a bent right arm. And by hitting it with a bent right arm, it's much easier to hang on to angles and get some shaft lean. Now, when we're looking at great players, how much shaft lean do they have? Well, when you're looking at tour averages around 12 degrees, but you're going to see a lot more at times. When we draw a line up here at 90 degrees, illustrating 0, when we look at Garcia, you're seeing that that line's at 17 degrees of shaft lean. You also see that there's a tremendous amount of lateral movement, we'd say much more than other players. And his head has continued to move down. Whereas Mcilroy, once the left arm is parallel to the ground, he sinks down and then he starts to move back up. Now, he's famous, he's not a big guy, but with high speeds, pushing down and pushing up, not easy to do in such a short time. In fact, working on it there's a couple of ways to do it, but perhaps when you look at certain players, they will go down and up, more of a natural move, and other players will just move down like Garcia and continue to move down. But when we're having a look at 90 degrees here straight up, illustrating 0 degrees shaft lean, you're going to be seeing Garcia here around 15 to 16 degrees of shaft lean, and some interesting things happening with, the lead eye over the golf ball and the knee over the golf ball. And this is the stuff I'm helping you with online lessons. There's nobody really out there that I cannot help. So if you're looking for online lessons, check out Craig Hanson Golf online. Let's go through just a few other players here when we're looking at something like a Tiger Woods from the top. Now, Tiger Woods moves down in his downswing, but you can see, if you just, for most of you guys out there, if it's just a little bit of a sink down and you're keeping the ball in mind, and you practice this for a little while, you will improve your angle, your right hip will lower, which will give you some room. Doesn't have to deepen as much or stay back and prevent the hips moving towards the ball as much as what people are truly believing. But you can actually get in there and lower this right hip, and it just sets up the body and the swing and the body geometry in a lovely position. And that's why these guys are doing it, right? It's because they make more money, they hit it better. Now, they don't necessarily think about it. I'm sure they're feeling it, but it's just because the great golfers, they move the same way, that their talent, it's why they're there, So when you're looking at averages of movement, there's 4 or 5 things we all have to do to hit good shots. And it's by getting your hands on the right information. There's not as much movement there. And that might be enough for somebody out there, but it's enough to come in with this right arm bent, and it's enough to get in there and get some lateral movement and get some of that shaft lean that you're after. And you can just see the repeating theme here, can't you? It makes sense to pay attention. 16 degrees, Robert Rock. What a golf swing. And it was done earlier on. When you're looking at Ben Hogan from the top of the swing, Ben also moved his head down. I mean, it's really difficult to find players that don't. It's just a feeling, and it's just a way for you guys. It's one of the pieces to the puzzle. As I said, there's 4 or 5 things that you need to really hit great golf shots. And if you jump on a platform where all the videos are in the same place, and it's growing, and we've got a separate series, advanced pitching series, power project, speed project, you can cancel whenever you want, and it's a community, and there's great stuff in there. And as I said, if you're after online lessons, check out CraigHansonGolf.com. Guys, thanks for watching, and if you like the video, and we'll see you next time.